So it's like a webinar, sorry, not a seminar. I'm going to just introduce Blakey Trades. So if you've been here, might be good for you to watch. Just if you've not known the full story behind this, behind me, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we do things, why we do things the way we do, why we're different to others, tricky times, which we've just obviously had. I'm going to talk about all sorts, why we're different, in things that we're going to be putting in place, etc. Talk to you more about the community, and then we have got half an hour or however long it takes with the training team that is down at Blakey Trades Hub, which is officially opening tomorrow. We've been getting great results from there, so I want them guys to come on, give you some fundamentals in taking signals, what they teach down at the hub, what they've got planned, what things they've got coming up. You know, day by day, there's going to be different education lessons. There's going to be topics of the week. This week's topic of the week, every week there'll be a topic of the week down at the Blakey Trades Hub and across the community. And the topic of this week is stop losses. Okay, because we know a lot of people don't use the stop losses, and I'm going to go into that just before I dive into this a lot. And I believe it or not, I tirelessly work where people could be going wrong. What could we do to get better? And what I see is the market this week, when people don't put stop losses on, they get away with it a certain amount of times, because normally we see if we put a stop loss, it can hit our stop loss 20, 30 pips, finds its way back up. That didn't happen this week. It was going 300, 400 pips straight through your stop loss and carries on. So the people that don't normally put stop losses, trade the way out of it, they didn't do that this week. So they took big hits. I had people messaging me saying they take big hits, and then a day later they're like, mate, I've reflected on it and it's my fault. Something I already knew, but some people need to just see where they went wrong, what they did, because believe it or not, I've told you guys before, and people in the community, the real ones in the community, they know I don't tell lies, I don't tell fluff. I have had over 100 messages with people saying, mate, I had a good week. You know, I had a tricky day this day, or I had a lot of people message me saying they was up Friday. They managed to miss some stop loss, or they did this. That is the nature of the beast. But the people ultimately that over risk or don't use stop losses or trade their way out of a trade by just keep layering in and hoping it comes back up, they're the ones that got burnt. And listen, I was one of them, but I didn't blow the account. I took a loss, blah, blah, blah. We'll go into that a little bit more. But so I want to talk to you a little bit about me. My name's Aaron Blakey. I founded Blakey Trades around 3 years ago. I don't know the actual date, but I didn't actually set up the BT Trades. I was working with other communities, doing things. And then it just took to a point where I thought, I can do this a lot better. And I want to do it my way. And I'll never change that. I don't care what people say, what people do. I'm going to do it my way because I've lived it all for the past 4 years. I've seen everything there is to see. I believe in this space. And I know what people want. And sometimes people don't know what they want. That's the thing. Some people want more trades. They want this, they want that. And they want to change everything to suit them. And unfortunately, I know what works best. I do know what works best in this space. And I'll always put the community before myself. I'll put it before anything else. Unlike the other communities out there. So at the minute, HS TikTok is going about, people, there's bad stigma on it. But I know I could have at least 200, 300, 400 people back me up and say, well, that's not the same as this community. This community doesn't. I've been telling people about HS flipping TikTok for a long time. People saying, oh, well, and DMO and all these guys. I'm like, look, I respect every man's hustle, but it's not how I want to do things. I'm not going to tell people if they put $1,000 in an account, they can make 10 grand in a week or 10 grand in a month or 10 grand in 3 months. I'm not going to say that because it's down to you. It's down to your control, your discipline, your risk management. We are only giving you the education that we can give you to become better traders in this space. We never want to say it's easy. I always bang on about how it does take a lot. It'll play with your emotions. I've had my fair share. I've had plenty this week, but most of my emotions is off you guys. I know I can handle my losses. I know I can make money from this. My emotions come from handling all you guys. And sometimes people say it's my downfall. James has said it before. I care too much. There's still people out there that think I'm out there for the wrong reason. And listen, you're always going to get those people, but I am here. I'll always, anybody that messages me, I have had tons of messages over the last few days, people checking in with me. because they know it falls on my shoulders and saying how they love the community and how they're making money and ignore the haters. You're going to get haters in whatever you do. Okay. And unfortunately, someone told me this: when you become good and when you become big, people want to hate on you. If they can't handle a stop loss, they go and tell everyone it's shit, it's this, it's that. Listen, that is trading. Are you going to take losses? This is what I wanted to touch on as well, but I always free roll. If you can't take losses, this is not the game for you. It's like being a fighter and expecting to get in the ring and not be hit. You'd soon get told, sunshine, this is not the space for you. I ain't got a clue what's just happened there. What is that? Okay, I don't know what happened there. So this is not the space for you. So you need to realize that quick, that you're going to take losses. There's going to be times where you have to take the loss, but that doesn't mean you're a loser. Same as a fighter gets punched in the face. It doesn't mean he's a loser. It just means you've got to roll with the punches. And I think some people need to learn to handle losses in this space. And listen, there's the times where I've done it where I couldn't handle losses, yes, earlier on in my journey. And I just carried on and it's just one of those things that there's not an answer to it. You just got to be grounded and not over risk. So I started this. I was fighting for the BKFC. I was 2-0 for the BKFC. I thought that's what I wanted to do. There was a time where I could have been pushing to be UK champion. It didn't work out that way. You know, BKFC's gone well on from there. And I got a bad injury and, you know, things was going another way. I got myself into a business debt of over £2 million when I moved to Dubai. And I needed to think, okay, am I going to keep toying around with this trading thing or am I going to run at it? And cut a long story short, I've blown over 50 accounts. I have seen the highs, the lows. I've over risked. I've took it steady. I've done everything you can think of. I've aimed for TP1. I've done all these things and I've figured things out. And some people say to me, well, can you just tell me what that is? And I wish I could. You've got to just, I can see Richard, who's a good member of this community, shaking his head. And don't you think if I could just come on this call and tell you what to do, I try my best. And people don't listen then. People don't listen when I say don't over risk. You know, why are you putting that bigger lot sizes on? I don't know if you saw my account. I have I had £50,000 in my account and I was trading no more than a lot size, one full lot over the positions. Obviously, at some point I had more, but I was cancelling out positions. I'm like, mate, you've got a 10 grand account. You've got 5 0.7s on. Like, you're over risking. No, it's all right, mate. I'm making good money. And then they see the downfall that can do. And listen, you can do that 10 days in a row and make loads of money, but you can blow it in one day. So remember to do what we say. Your lot sizes are important. If you've got big lot sizes, you're going to have big losses. And you need to understand that. You're not going to learn everything in one day. You're not going to learn everything in 1 week. You're not going to learn everything in 1 year. Am I still learning things now? Yeah. I learned a big lesson on Friday, but I'm a big boy and I can handle it. I didn't ring anybody complaining. I just went and looked in the mirror. I always say that if you want to know your answers, you won't got someone to blame. 9 times out of 10, go and look in the mirror. And I had to have a long, hard look in the mirror, slap myself in the face a few times, forget about it because it's in the past and look how I'm going to move forward. How am I going to make this better? And that's life, not just trading, it's life. And a lot of people struggle with that. But in this community, we try and get it. And listen, I do mindset calls every week. I do them for a reason. I say it for a reason because they help me. And I know they are helping a large percentage of the group. So for all the ones it doesn't help, then maybe it's not the group for you. So after obviously blowing plenty of accounts, I took it serious and I documented me starting with a £3,000 account. And I thought, if I can be disciplined on this account, I actually said a year. And if I'm totally honest, I got bored because I knew after 6 weeks I had the discipline. And I promised myself and my wife that if I'm going to prove to myself I can be disciplined for however long it took, I'm going to put a large amount of money in, because the main thing that I struggled was with discipline, chasing big wins. I wanted to become rich quick. I wanted the lifestyle that I wanted too quick. And too many times it burnt me. And I'd get to say, I'd start with 5 grand, get to 10 grand, and then I'd get greedy. And I'd see the 1K, 2K days and think, this is serious money. And I'd get greedy and it slapped me in the face. So I started with £3,000 and I said, I'm going to make 2% a day for a year. And believe it or not, that 2% a day, a year on a £3,000 account is I don't know, don't quote me, 570, say it's 500 and something. If you just did 2% a day and compounded it for a year. Well, after 6 weeks, I thought, well, I'm doing all right at this. I was eager to get the bigger money in because essentially I wanted to change my life and I wanted to change my family's life. And I also wanted to document how it would be on a bigger account. And people have seen me. I've had larger amounts, over £100,000 in the account. And I actually withdrew it because I thought that's dangerous having that sort of money in the account. It's a large amount of money. And do I really need that sort of money in the account to earn the money that I can be happy with? No. So I normally trade with around 30 to £50,000, but I got there by being disciplined and proving to myself to take the stop losses. When I hit 2% a day, I stopped. So I grew that 30,000 to 20. Sorry, I grew the 3,000 to around 20 to 30,000. I can't remember what it was. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to put the 50 in because the 2% on 3,000 was 60 quid. The 2% on 50,000 was 1,000. It's a big difference. And I started being disciplined. And from that 6 weeks of training myself to be disciplined, you all know I journal so you all will know. There'll be new people on this call. There's 200 people on the call. I journal every day. And I don't say journal every day like I've got up, I've done this. I journal every day by how am I going to be today? How is my future self looking? How am I going to be disciplined? I tell myself, you will not trade over 2%. And I just talk to myself in the journal. And you need to journal as well. Well, you don't need to, but I'd advise it. Journaling has changed my life. Manifesting, journaling, writing things down. I've been writing things down in this book tirelessly this week, as you can imagine, because my mindset's been tested as such. So I've been writing down in here, keeping myself grounded. And that is what changed it for me, being disciplined. And that's what can change it for you. I know there were people on this call thinking if they were disciplined Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, they wouldn't have took the big loss. And sometimes, so as I said earlier, gold's moving that mad where it's going to get you into trouble if you're not disciplined. Okay, I said it before, you can be disciplined for 6 months and then have one ill-disciplined day and it'll wipe your account. I could have easily wiped my account Friday. And there was a point where I could have cut it off. But the thing is, it's different for me. I've been doing it a year. And as you'll see, if you're experienced in gold, there were so many points where it should have returned but gold's moving mad. But again, because I've been in this space so long, I understand what gold can do, and it does not respect you at all. It will chew you up and spit you out. But I don't want to scare you. You can still get it right. I've got people that were messaging me and they're saying, mate, I've been disciplined and I might have had 1 or 2 bad days last week, but I'm £100 up for the week still. Or I'm 200. It's relative to who they are, but they're messaging me because they could see the message I was sending out. They were like, mate, that's a minority of people. There's still people in here that are doing it right. Don't get me wrong, there's still people struggling, and that's up to them whether they overcome the bad times because it will test you. Okay. So, like I say, it is going to take time to learn. I'm also going to tell you that people pick it up like that. I've had people in a week just pick it up. They're obviously disciplined people. They're not gamblers. They're not wanting to get rich quick. They're looking for a little bit of extra money. Some messages people say to me that it's changed their life just because they can pay extra bills. Some people just want that. It's all down to you. You can get whatever you want out of this space, but only you know what you want. So 3 key things that I will remember, okay, I want you to remember is there's no race to the top. And Scott Farham, who is a member, has been a member with me for a while. And again, somebody that struggled at the start. He's been with this community a long time. He will be on the call. I'm sure he will. And he's just stuck by it. He's starting to take his own trades. He loves the community. He's turned it full circle. He said to me, he put it on his Facebook. He said, too many people think it's a race to the top and they just want a race to get good at this. Chew you up and spit you out. So remember, it's not a race to the top. Remember, you are in your learning phase. Remember, on your small accounts, your £300 accounts, your £500 accounts, they are your learning accounts. Treat them as you learn. Your bigger accounts, when you get there, and you will not get there unless you master a small account. Again, I kept trying to jump from a 300 or a 500. I'd skip that bit out and go and chuck 5 grand in. Wrong thing to do. Master the small account first. And then when you've mastered a small account, when you've proven to yourself, I can trade on a £300 account. And when I get to £9, I'm happy because I'm celebrating that £9 as if I was on a 50 grand account, and that £9 would be £1,500, because £9 on a £300 account is 3%, which if you did that 2 days in a row, your bank won't give you that return a year. So you should be bouncing from the rooftops, turning your phone off and thinking, I'm done for the day. I've earned 3%. And if I can imagine if that was a 50, I'm not saying you're going to go to a 50 grand account, but say if you did and you could, that 3% is now £1,500. So the money changes, but the percent stays the same. So you need to start focusing on this and not the monetary value. Start learning on a £300 account and looking at the percentages as if it was a big percentage, or use a demo account. So what somebody said to me the other day, they use their real account, their live account on the signals. And if they're thinking about starting the zones and analysis group we have, which is a bit more for advanced, we do give you zones, they use a demo account on that to learn. So they have two accounts, the live accounts for the signals. And then when they master on the demo account how the zones work, they're not losing money because it's quick. It might only take you a couple of weeks to, okay, I've got this now. I'm going to return to my live account and I might start taking a few zones. So that is something that you could try. So how, obviously, I fast forwarded a bit, where Blakey Trades went to. So we obviously started off as a signals group, and I fast turned it into a community because people like the community feel. They've got people to talk to. I love the community feel, and I don't see anybody else doing the community feel to it. You know, a lot of these people that you see, that forex groups are everywhere now, and I guarantee 50% of them are people that's come through our group. They've seen how well we was, they've seen what we can do, and they're like, I want to go and do this all on my own. They're all in it for I want to say that because it's not fair. There's a lot of groups out there, they're just in it for the money. They don't really know. They've not been in the space long. They're just on the train. Whereas here we've got experienced people. You've got Ish, who does the calls. He's got 15 years experience. It made over millions in the space. You've got James, who has been in this space, most probably experienced guy in this space I know. He's seen it all. You've got me that's been through everything there is in this space. These are the groups, they're popping up. I guarantee they haven't got what we've got. And that is not a sales pitch, it's the truth. So also learn to take losses, because as I've touched on, if you can't take losses, you're not going to like this space. But that doesn't have to mean a loss of never winning. You need to learn to handle losses, but take wins. So what do? People always say, how do you take losses? I'm like, yeah, of course I do. Do I have losing days? Of course I do. Do I have losing weeks? Yeah, I have losing weeks. Do I have losing months? Very, very. In fact, I can't remember the last time I had a losing month. And what do I do? So I tell people, don't take it day by day, week by week, month by month, quarter by quarter. What I firstly do is if I have a losing day, I then think, okay, let me look at the week. If I had a losing week, I'll think, okay, let me look at the month. And 9 times out of 10, I think, okay, well, I'm still up for the month. So I then take away the mental side of, okay, I've been down today. Okay, so what? All right, I've been down this week. All right, so what? Okay, I'm up for the month. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at month. And then on the rare occasion, if I was like, okay, I'm down for the month, but look at the quarter. I'm up for the quarter. So stop honing in on a day, because that will fuck with your emotions. Because if you think, oh man, I've lost the day's profit, you're then going to be honed in on not losing your day's profit. And sometimes you have to lose your day's profit, because if you don't, you'll cling on and you'll lose your account. So start looking at what I've just said. Are you up for the week? Because maybe that psychology of it, of you looking at, if you're honing on a day, you're going to cling on to that day's profit and you're going to extend your stop loss because you think, I don't want to lose my day's profit. I don't want to lose my day's profit. If it's right to lose your day's profit, lose your day's profit. Do you think guys, businesses work day by day? No, they work quarter. They work on turnovers. So this is like a mini business for you, a new skill that you're learning. You need to start doing that. Again, anything I'm telling you is things that I've learned along the way. And I guarantee it will just kill that bad energy to having a bad day. Okay, you've had a bad day. So what? Or the market had a bad day. So people, the amount of messages I get saying, has the trader changed? No, we won't change the trader. It's the same trader that's give you all those good days. But I'm not going to ring him up and go, hiya, mate. Yeah, just a quick one. I know you made me all that money. Do you think you entered that trade right? Like the guy's got years and years more experience than me. And he's given people, I've got people made over 300 grand in the space of 3 months, questioning the trader. I'm like, whoa, mate, you need to remember that you were ringing me not long ago. How can you avoid tax in England because you're earning that much money, yet we've had 2 bad days and you want me to ring the trader up and tell him that he's wrong for entering that trade? Like, what have you been smoking? Like, have you got a short memory? Like, people in this space, their memory is like that. Like, guys, you were all ringing me. You're all sending me screenshots. You love this. You love that. This is amazing. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to do this. I'm taking the family on holiday. Great. But then roll with the tough times as well. Don't be one of those people. Don't be one of those people that you have a bad day. And there's plenty of them. They're in and out the group all the time. They love it when they win. They over risk. They hit a stop loss. They're on the phone like, what was all that about, mate? I've just hit 2 stop losses. Okay. Well, I've blown my account. Okay, well, that's my fault. No, we have not taught you to do that. So these, again, I'm real. I'm just going to, some people might think, well, why is he talking to us like this? Because what do you want me to do? Cuddle you a bit and tell you everything's going to be all right and tell you, yeah, it's my fault, not your fault. No, I'm never going to say it's your fault. I'm going to say, maybe look at your lot sizes, maybe look at where you went wrong, because there's plenty of people out there, when you've blown your account, managed the trade, made it back on the next one. Like, that's just a scenario. So make sure that you listen. And sometimes it'll be a harsh listen. And a lot of the time, people will message back saying, sorry about yesterday, mate. I was heated. It was my own fault. I'm like, mate, I've been there. I was that guy once. Mate, what were these trades about? I've done this. And they were saying the same to me. Blakey, go and look at what you've done wrong, mate. Like, you shouldn't have lost that much money. Why did you not have a stop loss on? So going back to what I said, learn to take losses. If you think that I talk shit, then you won't be here long. But there's real people in here that really, really listen, and it works. So don't take it day by day. I've covered that. And also, don't fear the market, but also don't get greedy with it. There's a fine line. I've been on both sides of it, and neither of them work. You've got to get used to where your fine line is. And again, when I go back to people saying that, can you just tell me how this works? There's that many different things. I couldn't tell you on an hour's call. I couldn't tell you in a day how to make it work. I probably could if you came and sat with me for a week, but it's not realistic. Like, that's one of them. Don't be too fearful of it. Don't be taking profit like, oh, I'm getting out. Like, I have so many people go, what it is I let a stop loss go all the way to stop loss and more. But when I see it in fucking 10 pips of profit, I close it. Okay. And that is going to take time, where you just see the results. How many times do people see TP3 hit, TP4 hit, and they're like, I'm not even in it. Like, I've just took £4 when I could have took 20. Like, and it just takes time. It's not like a gray area where I'm not saying it because I'm going to slip up. It is just time. And if people, please, if you have been one of those people where it just clicks, please react on it so people can see that I'm not talking jibber jabber. Like, it will one day you think, okay, maybe I've just tried that. So there's plenty of things that you can do in this space to improve. I always relate to other things in any industry, in anything. When you first started that job, that sport, that anything, you weren't the best at it. How many people have started a job and thought, I'm not going to be able to do this. This is just too much. It's way over my head. I don't know what I'm doing. Me. When I started this space, I can remember thinking, what the hell is this guy on about? Move my stop. How do I do that? What do I do? And I can remember thinking, I'm never going to get this. And now I love it. It's just one of those things that takes time. So I started go-kart racing, and I was like, mate, I just want to, how do I get quicker? Like, and he was like, laps. Just keep getting out on that track, keep doing those laps. If a boxer wants to get better, how do I do it? Rounds. Just keep getting them rounds in, keep improving. It's the same with this. How do I get on this? Just days on the market, seeing things, seeing trends in yourself, seeing trends in your discipline, listening to the calls. It is just getting it in it. And in anything in life, to become an expert in it, you have to do 10,000 hours. That's a stat. It's just go and chat GPT. To become an expert at something, you need to do 10,000 hours. And that just comes by repetition. Do you think a boxer goes without no losses? Do you think when you start a job, you're not going to fuck up once, you're not going to make a mistake? But in this game, it hurts because it's your money. If you make a mistake in the ring, you're going to get a punch in the face. If you make a mistake, you're going to lose a fight. Yeah, it hurts some people when you lose a fight, but I tell you what hurts more, losing money. So maybe start listening to the things what I'm trying to be hardest to stop you losing as much money. I posted, I had a loss and it hurt, and I was the only one to blame for it. But I didn't moan. I didn't go for anybody. So another thing, join the calls. We have, I'd probably say about 2,500 active members, and we get 500 to 600 on the call, sometimes less. And that's worrying because that's a free call where people are gaining. And it's not coincidence that the people that are doing well are on that call every week. Every week. I see them. I can see them in the pictures now. They're on it every week. Yeah, they might not be, but the majority of people, in fact, I'd say 90% of the people that are doing well are always on the calls. The other 10% are probably people that's been with me years. And like I've got people with me 2 years. So the people that are doing the well are on the calls. Why are they on the calls? Because they're not just dipping the toe in. They understand that they need to learn as much as they can. And if they have an hour call with me and they pick up one new thing, that's that one of them 1%. Then 1% add up. So make sure you're joining the calls. So a little bit about the market last week and the market at the minute. I'm going to tell people half your lot sizes. So if you're trading on a 10 grand account, trade as if you was trading on a 5 grand account. If you're trading on a £1,000 account, work your lot sizes out if you're on a £500 account. Protect yourself. See how the market's moving. Don't put as many entries in. Or spread your entries out because you've seen the way the market's moving. I'm hoping it calms down a bit. Spread your entries out. You don't have to take every trade. So someone said to me earlier, he was 150 pip on Friday, on Friday. He says, I'll be honest, mate, I didn't take a couple of the trades because I just wasn't sure. He's been with us 3 months because I just wasn't sure. The market's obviously moving. He goes, granted, I'd have made a fuck ton of money on one and I'd have hit a stop loss on the other. Well done. Well done. You're actually learning. You don't have to take every trade. It's up to you. All we're giving is trade ideas. All we're giving is, here's some zones that it's going to react from. You don't have to take every single one. As you get more experience, you may think, I don't like the look of that one. We're not right all the time, but majority of the time, you'll agree we're right. Majority of time, we've gone 3 weeks without hitting one stop loss. People forget about that. We've gone days where we don't hit stop losses. We've gone 38 trades in a row where we don't hit a stop loss. People forget about that. They just remember where we hit 2 stop losses in a row. But them stop losses shouldn't damage you. People forget about the good weeks. And that is the same in anything. But I tell you something. We go and have a storming week next week. Everyone will forget about last week. Like that is just, I know this game like the back of my hand. And I try and tell it to people. I'm like, mate, control your emotions. Your emotions will only be high if you are over risking. Say if you're risking the right amount and you're on £1,000 account and you do a 0.02, a 0.02 and a 0.02. Okay. And you hit a stop loss and you lose, let me just work this out. So 0.02 to that, 16, and you lose about 30 quid, 40 quid. Do you think you're going to be worried? Do you think you're going to be hectic? No. But the same person does 0.2, 0.4, all of a sudden he's lost 400 quid. He's lost 40% of his account. Two same account sizes, 2 different entries in the trade. One took a stop loss at the right point. One took 130 pips later because he just didn't want to do it. One over risked. One's 50% down on his account. And one is what? 2%, 3%, whatever. Like there's a big difference. And that is the mixed emotions that we get. That the one person that lost that then has to change his lot sizes for the next trade because he's got 40% of his account gone. Then hesitant on the next trade because his emotions are all over because he's just lost that money. Whereas the first person, takes the trade exactly the same way and pulls 60% of his loss back. Takes the next trade, is even for the day. That person's still 300, 400 pound down. It's 2 different scenarios and it's 2 different outcomes. And that first person texts at the end of the day saying, okay, I'm 20 quid up. I'm 50 quid up for the day. Cheers, Aaron. Thank you. The other person's texting me saying, mate, what a fucking shit show that day was. That is exactly how it happens. Have I been that person? Yes. But I can't keep replying to these people and saying the same thing. Brother, you're doing it wrong. Brother, you're over risking. You know, these things, you know, I've got other people that are on the same size account to you telling me they're up today. But you're £400 down, but it's my fault. Like, come on. Like, have a bit of ownership to you, what your thumbs are doing. Like, and again, I've been there. So don't come at me, please. So the training hub, I am going to introduce. I listen. That is a little bit of an introduction to what we do. You will find a little bit more in the community. So I am going to quickly touch on. So when you join the community, if you're new, you can go into, I advise you go into the signals group. There's plenty of videos on how to take the signals. You can ask the support team. You can even reach out to me. There's videos on how to enter the signals, lots of different ways of entering it. Play around with it first. Use the lowest lot sizes. You're going to win a bit, you're going to lose a bit. It's that thing. Listen, people come into it and just pick it up. If you watch all the education videos and you watch the calls and you just take your time, you'll be fine. If you're going to go Billy Big Bollocks and race to the finish line, you'll get burned. Okay, it's not a marathon. It's not a, what is it? What's that saying? It's not a marathon. It's not. What's the say? I can't remember. It's not a marathon sprint. I don't fucking know. It's not as quick. I'm not saying don't rush to the end. I had a brain fart then. So yeah, we've got a VIP signals group. Look at you all laughing. I love it. Yeah, we've got a VIP signals group where basically the main group with a signal support. We've got a zones and analysis group where it's for more advanced people. We will give you areas saying that, this is a possible entry for a buy zone, or, there's going to be a reaction to the market here. We are going to be changing something this week. So it's good for newbies and existing members to know. We are no longer going to be saying, I will move my stop loss to break even, because I believe that is cancelling a lot of people out from getting the TP2s, 3s and 4s. So we are not going to be announcing that anymore. We're not going to be saying we'll move things here. We are going to be saying you manage your trades as you want. And here's a good statistic that we've looked at over the previous 6 weeks, okay? And we will roll this out. If you just want to set and forget and not manage and not do these things, try this, okay? I'm not saying it's not financial advice. I'm just saying try it. When the zone comes out, buy zone now, or even not buy zone, buy now in the signals group. We've looked at the statistics, and 85% of the trades that are winning trades hit TP3. Or is it TP2? Yeah, TP3. We're going to give you the results. But what I'm going to say is, when the signal comes out, be prepared for losses, but be prepared to be profitable. Enter the zone wherever you want. If you want to wait for it to pull back 10 pips, or even just enter when it says buy now. If you set that to TP2 and you set stop loss, you will be up for the week. I'm telling you now, because I look at the results, I look at what happens, but what happens in between is what messes with your head. So you're going to get times where TP1 is hit and it goes to stop loss. It doesn't happen often. We've got the results. But you're also going to get times where it goes to TP1, comes back down to your entry point, and comes back down to below it into the zone, and then goes off to TP2, which you would have normally been out of that trade. So try it. If you're thinking of different ways, we're going to roll things out what you can try, because we're experienced. We're trying the best to give you different ways of entering on the hope that you find the best way that works for you. And listen, I know it works because I've been doing it so many years and I've got so many case studies and so many people that can make it work their own way. And the fact of the matter is, in this space, you will one day just find what works for you. I have so many people that I look at and think, God, I couldn't trade like that, but it works for them. So another way you could do it is if you enter when it says buy now, and if it pulls back, if it retraces the way that we don't, and it comes back 30 pips, you put one more entry in, and you set that entry for TP1, and you set your first entry for TP2. Try that. These are just different things that you can do. On that note, I'm going to pass us over to the training team, we created a training hub in Workshop. This space is designed for calm. You go down there. If you're having struggles, you'll be asked for your account number, because it is only for Blakey Trades people. You'll be asked for your account number and they will help you. There will always be someone on the floor. There's going to be a main area which got a big screen with the chart on. We will go through live trades with you. So if you're struggling with entering trades, if you're struggling with your mindset, if you're struggling, how can I make this work? Stu and George and Tomo and the other team down there, they will help you because they have been experienced. I remember Stu's probably going to tell you, Stu came out to Dubai and told me, Blakey, I can't get this to work. I'm doing loads of money at it and now he's teaching people. So these are good guys. George is insane with it on his charts. They're a part of our team. So you can go down there at Worktop anytime you want and just sit with them. They are there 12 hours a day. They have got private one-to-ones where you can do via Zoom call, which is £50 an hour. You may think £50 an hour, but 9 times out of 10, the people have given me the feedback. I made that £50 back with the lesson in an hour. When they were entering a trade, me, okay, do this. This is where you may be going wrong. You lower your lot sizes. Don't put too many entries. They're showing you, okay, there's what you're going wrong. This is a game changer for me. No one is doing this. No one's paying out rent and everything and wages for a training center to help you guys. That's what we're doing here. So I'm going to introduce them. Stu and George, let me find you. All right, there they are. I can see you waving. So, Joe, I'll just ask you to unmute. Can you unmute?
Hello.
Hello there. So, Stu, put your hand up. And George, these are the main trainers down at Blakey Trades Hub. I'm going to hand it over to you guys. I know you've got a lot to go through. This is going to be however long it takes for these guys to go through what they're going to be teaching, what they think they can help you with, and it's going to be a free bit of advice.
Yeah, perfect. So obviously we've been down the training up all week. So anybody who has actually came down and obviously seen us, the feedback's been absolutely amazing. Like Aaron's just mentioned, obviously everybody has been making money, and if we are taking the losses, we're managing the losses correctly. So nobody's coming down and blowing their accounts off of one loss. So yeah, it's been very beneficial this week, and obviously for the next coming weeks, we have got a schedule which has been posted in the Blakey Trades Training Hub and also the members group as well. So on there, you'll be able to find out what we are doing on a daily basis. We're trying to tailor it to different days. So if you are comfortable with a day that you already know, or you think you may know, then you can still come down, or you can miss that day and come down on a more beneficial day for you. So we want to split it out for everybody. We don't want to just be like, well, come down, it's the same thing every day. We want to make sure it's tailored to everybody's needs, and so we're not missing anybody out. Like Aaron's just mentioned as well, obviously the one-to-ones are available via our admin. If you did want one-to-ones, they are very beneficial. And like Aaron just said as well, I think nearly 9 out of 10 clients who's come to see me today this week on the charts, when I've spotted something coming in, we've all earned our money back. So yeah, you basically get your session for free, which is always nice. We all love a freebie, don't we? So yeah, there's a few things we want to touch on today. And the main thing that we are going to be touching on this week is a massive, massive thing. It's stop losses. I know there's a lot of you guys out there think you can manage your stop losses manage your trades without a stop loss. But let me tell you this, managing a trade without a stop loss, like Aaron's a big believer, I'm a big believer, your emotions will eat you. You will not be able to get out that trade if it is dumping. And what we all do is just over leverage. We just keep layering, hoping and praying it's going to go the way. It doesn't matter if your car's broke, your kids can't eat for the week. It doesn't care. It'll just keep coming. And it just won't stop. I've been on the back end of it. Aaron's been on the back end of it. Stu's been on the back end of it. We've all been there.
I just want to say, guys, while you're saying that, what happens, and this is a good point, what happens, and I want people to relate to it, is say if you've got £1,000 account and you've not put a stop loss on, you're in 20% of drawdown. At that point, you're thinking this could come back, this could come back. Then all of a sudden you're in 50% of drawdown. You're thinking, well, I'm not closing my account. That's 500 quid gone. Then it gets to 60, 70%. You think, well, fuck it, I'm in it now. Like I'm not closing. Then before you know it,
yeah, that is it. So stop losses are key. I've always said you can either follow the signals, which we advise you to do. So obviously we give you your stop loss for you. So we just copy and paste. Or if you do want to make a larger stop loss, then that's completely up to you guys. When people come in, we do check your history. So bearing in mind, we will sit there and check your history on your trade so we can tailor it to you the best we can. But I'm not bothered where you have a stop loss, as long as there is a stop loss there.
Saves everyone's accounts, don't it?
Yeah, that's it. We don't want to see nobody blowing accounts. We don't, because at the end of the day, it's our hard-earned money. If we're just going to throw money, we might as well just go down to the bookies at the weekend and chuck it in a fruit machine. and just hope and bet, hope and pray when we put a tenner in, we're going to get 80 quid out of it. So obviously stop losses are key. So it just caps you, and it just saves you every single time. None of us want to lose all the money. But like Aaron says as well, the 4 trades, you should be able to get your money back within 4 trades. And with Blakey Trades, we send out anywhere between 28 signals. That's with the VIP and the scalping group combined. So with that being said, you've got plenty of chance to get that money back. We don't hit 15 to 16 stop losses.
We worked it out, like the video, didn't we? I think it was 2. If you layer in correctly and you're the right lot sizes, you should pull it back after 2 trades.
Yeah, because this is the thing with layering. We'll touch on that a little bit later. But with the stop losses, the gold can move so quick it can catch us out. So there's multiple ways that you can add your stop loss before entering a trade. So there shouldn't be any excuse saying, "Oh, market moved too quickly, I couldn't get one on." There's multiple training videos.
We worked out, didn't we? Even if you put on a stop loss, you can adjust it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So put it on and then adjust it to the correct place where it's but you just get it on.
Yeah, 100%.
Just get it locked in.
100%. Like I said, there's multiple videos on this as well in the Blakey Trades educational group. If you have got any questions, you are struggling with it, then obviously just come and see one of us guys. There's always going to be somebody on the training floor that we can all help you out with that. I know a lot of people don't like them, and I don't know why. It's just like I said, if it does happen, it's going to bite you one day. It might be all right for a couple of days. I've had people come in who's made, in fact, we had one guy, didn't we? He made £1,000 to £45,000 in a week. Brought his missus a car, he's made it. The next week, £77,000. Who was calling on Monday morning after a Friday drop?
Blown his account.
77 grand gone. No stop loss, over risking, over leveraging, hoping that
I think it will always come back, and it doesn't sometimes.
It don't. It really, really don't. And we've all been caught on the back end of it. So stop losses are key. If we are going to enter the market, a stop loss gets rid of emotions. It will cash you out of the trade, regardless. You're not going to say, "Oh, another 100 quid, just another 100." It doesn't care. As soon as it hits that line, you are out. And you want to hope and pray, because when you see it come in a big red candle after that, if you're in a buy, then you go, "Oh my God, thank God that got me out of that." And I can now continue to carry on building my account. So stop losses are absolutely key in trading. Because why wouldn't we want to enter the market and not lose all our money? If we lose a little bit,
it's always going to take your profit in it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's going to take the account.
100%. So obviously, in the scalping group, we always say what I recommend is anywhere between 50 to 60 pips in a stop loss. So that is between from your top highest entry, from your worst entry down to your bottom entry, or obviously reversal if it's in the sell. It's a little bit tighter due to looking for 20 to 30 pips, and we're getting out. And that is the key of scalping. Scalping's not longer trades. It's literally, you'll be looking around about 80 pips for your stop loss. So what I've noticed a lot of people doing recently, they're doing 80 pips on every number. It's got to be 80 pips throughout the full zone. It can't be 80 pips on every single entry you do. Otherwise, your stop loss is going to be like 300. It just don't make no sense. So you must always use your stop loss, the same number all the way down on every entry. And you must stick to the plan. If your lot size is 0.01, 0.02, 0.03 in your entries, and your stop loss must stay the same every trade. If you start changing it up, you'll notice you'll start getting in a bit of a pickle with it. It must always, when you're executing a plan must be there. We execute every single trade exactly the same. If it hits a stop loss, it hits a stop loss. If we take profit, we take profit. It's the same thing every single time. We don't get emotional about it. We'll just move on to the next trade. If the next trade's not looking for you, then you don't have to enter it. Me, Aaron, Stu, we're not going to sit there and force you to press the button. It's completely up to you guys what you do when you lose is completely up to you. We've got constant people who are constantly profitable every single day, but then they'll sit next to each other doing the same trades, and the other one not be profitable, and one is profitable. It's because executing a trade is completely different to placing a trade. How to execute a trade is obviously down to you again, But once again, we're not going to be too greedy. I'm not going to walk past a tenner on the floor and I say, I'll wait for the next 20 quid I see. You know what I mean? We must, when the market shows us money, we must take it. And I know there's this rumor around it's all right for you guys, you on higher accounts, all this and that. I've had clients come in and seeing me this week, and they're getting £45 out of a £1 lot size. Like that's 450 pips they've just taken on that. It's like I said, that's like TP a million. You know what I mean? You've got to be happy, and it's got to be equivalent to your account size. If you're on a 0.01, you should be looking around about £20 out of a trade. You shouldn't be looking for 50 to £60. It's got to be relevant to your account size. So yes, when you do have more money in your account, yes, you do get more out of it. But at the same time, our losses are a lot larger. So when people say to us like, oh, well, it's all right when you buy a higher account, all this and that, it's easier to make money. Just remember, we're taking the signals as well.
It's all percentages.
Yeah, exactly. When you take a loss, we take a loss. We all take a loss together. But when we're all winning, we're all happy when we're winning together. So you've just got to make sure that you are executing a trade correctly. So there's a little bit of statistics. So the VIP signals, it can hit 18 stop losses in a row, and you'll still have your capital left.
£1,200 account.
£1,200 account. So this is when people are saying, "Well, I can't seem to get it. I'm just not making money. I've lost my account." Oh, you should be able to hit it 18 times in a row,
which has never happened.
It never happens. Plus the scalping group, you should be able to hit it 34 times in a row and still be standing. So no one should be blowing their account on one drop if your stop losses are correct. Stu's got a saying, like he says it's to me, he says it's to all the clients. He says, look, if we could put you on a training course right now and we say, follow every single thing that we say, and you're going to do it for 8 weeks, stop loss this, stop loss that, every single time, taking profit at the correct points. And by the end of that 8 weeks, we're going to give you 20 grand a week. You're going to go away and you're going to do your damned hardest to follow everything. So you can prove to us that I've done everything correct. Now there's your 20 grand a week. This is normal in trading. This is possible if you follow every single rule. The rules are there for a reason. So if we stick to the rules have been placed by Aaron and been placed by all the rest of the people, because we've made these mistakes. We're trying to protect you. We're not trying to get money out of you or anything like that. We generally care about it. Like I said, you can see Aaron before. When people are losing, he generally cares about you, and we do the same. We're not just here telling you to put a line on that chart, do this, do that. We generally come into the hub, we hear about your experiences, and we try and tailor everything to do. We ask about your families. We actually do care. So when we all win together, we're all buzzing, and it's just like being in a massive nightclub, and we're all just buzzing off each other. It's absolutely amazing when we see everybody actually winning together. So when we say close, I know Aaron's just said that we're not going to be doing moving stop losses, etc. So we're going to be all managing our own trades. So people follow the buy and sell signals, not a problem. We all know how to press a button. We all should know how to trade. But when we say close or zone failed, we don't listen to it. We just let it keep going. If we say close or zones failed, you must be willing to take the loss and then move on. If you ignore it, you're just going to be in a drawdown. And now you're going to be panicking, ringing your pal, what do I do here? What we're going to do this? How are we going to get out of it? If they say zones failed, we must take the loss. Me personally, I've done it myself. When I'm in a £4 grand drawdown and I'm thinking, right, if I don't stop this right now, I'm going to lose my account. I have to take it. You just have to take the L.
Half the time, George, if they don't take that loss, you'll miss the next trade because you're not going to enter that trade because you're already in drawdown from the other one. Whereas other 100%. People have made their loss back or on the way to making that loss back, but you're still in drawdown. You think, well, I can't put any more entries in because I'm waiting for this one to come. So
that's been a question been asked a lot to us as well, because obviously the people who are in the VIP and also the scalping group together, the most common question that's been asked recently is, if a VIP comes in and I'm already in a scalping group zone already, what do I do? Now, it's completely up to you guys, but in my recommendation, if you do want to take the next trade, you close one and then you move on to the other. You don't take both at the same time, hoping and praying, oh, I'm hoping it's going to come back up because the BT zone's just come in. It's nailed on. No, it does not work like that. If you're going to take the next trade, you must be willing to close the other trade, even if it's in a loss. Obviously, preferably in profit, but if you are in a small loss, then I'd recommend closing that and then going into the VIP signal as well. So don't just try and juggle 2 trades at the same time. It's just not going to work out for you. So emotional entries after a stop loss. Most of us will just either like leave it alone for 15, 20 minutes. A new zone will come in that I've just took a massive loss. I'm not going to enter. Then it's TP5. Then everybody's absolutely wounded and they want to get into the next one. Now, this is now an emotional entry. Now, you're not entering with the plan. You're not executing with a plan. You're entering with emotions. You're just hoping and praying it's going to hit TP5 again for you, and then it hits your stop loss, and then you get annoyed, and then it just constantly, just like a constant cycle. Every single, when I place trades, I've been in here multiple times. I go, George, are you not taking that trade? I've hit my profit for the day. I'm happy. I'm all right. That's another thing that you must be able to do. Everyone's jump on this, boom, 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 boom. Let's get loads of these trades in. It's like, look, I've already made my money. I'm happy. I'm done. Because I work on percentages. I don't work on daily profits. It's non-existent to me. If I have to lose £9,000 on the way to my end of my month, the percentage, so be it. I'm not bothered. But you've got to be able to lose to win. That is the main thing in trading. If you have to lose a little bit just to get to your end goal, so what? That's just trading. It's just something that we all must be able to do. We all hold on to a loss, but we never hold on to a win. That is the most common thing that I see daily. If you are going through the zones, my biggest recommendation is, like I know Aaron's just said, obviously we're not going to put it in anymore, but if I've layered in 3 times and I've got in at 5,000, my first entry is, which obviously is going to be my worst entry, my second entry at 4,998, and then now my third entry with 4,996, okay? Stop loss around about 4,994, somewhere around that mark, okay? But I've now layered into the zone 3 times. But what I'm going to do is higher my lot sizes. You must not use the same lot size all the way down, because when you're not then going to leverage the market. If you all get caught trying and drawdown, it's just going to calculate together, and there's no way out. You just end up getting in a sticky mess. You must always use a higher lot size on the way down, even if it's 1 number, 2 numbers.
You're always in profit, aren't you?
Yeah, then you're always
in profit. Before you get to your middle entry, like you're already in overall profit.
That's it. So I'm normally out to entry point. Me personally, if you want to hold for TPs, this is when we want to make it risk free, and this is when Blakey Trades tells you to move your stop loss to entry point or break it, or just above entry point. I move my stop loss from my best entry point, which will be the 4,996. I'll move that to my middle entry point once I've hit that. And as soon as I get to TP1, my entry point should be in pure profit, and I will be moving that to my first entry point. And if that wants to go, this will then keep flying. And then if it go wherever it goes, there's no stopping it. But at least I've made it risk free, and I have taken two of my profits already out at the top. That's already in my back pocket. And if you want to let it run, if it goes TP5, then so be it. Fantastic. But if the market isn't looking that way, then it will not. Then that's when I'm out at entry point. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but you can do what you want to do with your trading. We can give you the tools, like I mentioned, but then obviously you're the one who needs to execute it, okay? So obviously that's moving it to risk-free, which I recommend everybody doing as soon as we get to the point that when we can, because you don't want to enter the market and not lose any money at all. For me, that's what I like to do every single time. So a lot of people have also asked me about the layering, like the rule of thumb for layering, okay? So if the market is moving very quick and it's moving in one direction, but it's still within inside the zone, only layer within inside the zone. If we say the rule of thumb is 2 whole numbers, so 20 pips when layering it into the zone. If the market's moving quickly, I recommend going for around about 30 pips within inside the zone, because then this gives it more leverage when you do go back up into the higher numbers. With doing this, you're not going to get caught out as quick, because now your layers are more spread apart. And obviously, it's going to take it less time to get you an overall profit at the top of the screen than it would doing it in every two numbers. Because then you're going to put another two numbers in, another two numbers in, hoping and praying it's going to go back up. And by the time, if it doesn't go the way and zone failed, your loss is going to be a hell of a lot higher than it would do if we layered in more layers down in numbers. Okay. So you get a better entry and you get more flexibility doing this, which obviously will help us out to be overall more profitable in the long run. Okay. So also, if nobody has got this on their telegrams, I recommend everybody downloading Forex Factory. Okay, so it should be Forex Factory and there should be a little green box saying calendar on it. I know we've all been on the phone calls with Ish and we've seen that you can look at the news updates throughout the day, but a lot of us are too busy to keep looking at this, or we go like you're taking your kids to the park or you're in entering a trade or wherever you are. This will give you live news updates constantly when you've got 10 to 15 minutes before the news is about to start. So if you are in a trade, then you can start looking at your exit plan accordingly. So yeah, so when you're in overall profit, you should be taking it, okay, as well. So literally, you're not going to be waiting for TP2, TP3 unless you have moved your stop losses. If you're in overall profit and first two entries are in red, I still cash them out because my overall profit is still at the top.
Oh, yeah,
it's still
scalping though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's scalping. Yeah, 100%. That is scalping. So that's what we're going to go through there.
Breaking habits.
Yeah, breaking habits. So these we need to break a lot of habits at the moment because this is what something massive that I want to touch on. It is the breaking the habit and starting a complete fresh. This week has been very difficult. Okay, like me personally, like Aaron mentioned, I have been marking the charts every single day, and I've got my own reaction points. And they are bouncing off, but they're going in the opposite direction to where I would say they were going to go as well. So obviously, when I mark the charts, 9 out of the 10 times by 6 o'clock in the morning throughout the day, it hits near enough every single Blakey Trades zone. So obviously, I've got the exactly same trades. So when people say to me, "Oh, George, what have you got any trades for me?" It's exactly the same constantly. They all bounce off in the same areas. So if it comes flying past my buy zone, it's going past Blakey Trades buy zone as well. It doesn't mean that they're wrong. The market's just not reacting where we would say it's going to react. It's just doing what the hell it wants. And obviously trying to find a pattern, because that's what gold does. It tries to find patterns. It tries to repeat. What we've noticed, gold is kind of reacting the same as February the 6th, 2026. So if anybody is on TradingView and did want to look back to that point around that area, you'll notice a lot of patterns are being copied. So you might have a little bit more indication what's going on
What's
there.
it going to do now, George?
What's it going to go? I think personally, there's another move to come.
I think it's coming down.
I think it's coming down. Personally, I think there's a retrace.
Yeah, I think it's going to
I believe it's retrace before the big move.
Tuesday, don't we? 44.
It's going to make a big move, but it's going to retrace first.
Oh yeah, I think it'll find its way up to 7,000 before the end of the year, but it's going to keep going down first. So don't be jumping in buys when the market opens. I'll let you continue.
No, that's it. What the market's also been doing, it's been using fair value gaps as trampolines. This is a massive thing for what we've noticed recently. So when it's coming to the fair value gaps, it's just literally bouncing off from like resistance lines. So like I said, when you normally see a fair value gap and a liquidity pool near each other, you would expect it to come through it. So when the signal comes in, I've noticed a lot of the time the signal's right near in the middle of a fair value gap. So when we would expect it to move through, and it's just bouncing off it like a trampoline and then shooting in the opposite direction. It's very hard to actually get an entry and where it's actually going to be where we're going to be able to move at least more than 20 pips. So with that being said, you've got to be very, very careful in this area. Because I know a lot of the people have been doing charts with us, but there's nothing much in that area unless you do scroll all the way back to February.
People should be changing the lot sizes as well.
Yeah.
You're like when the market's moving like this.
Yeah, 100%. I would recommend using lower lot sizes just to try and protect your accounts a little bit more. But not having no stop losses on is completely idiotic at this point. The stop losses must be there. We must not be over leveraging, and revenge trading and jumping straight back into after a loss is a big no-no at this point, because like I said, the market is out there to get us at the moment, and it's going to be very, very difficult to follow the plan. So, what have we got here? We've already got that. Anything else? Have you got anything you want to pitch in?
Not really, mate. Everything what we wrote out.
Yeah, we've got everything. Well, that's basically anything. But if because we've got still got a bit. Because we've got a bit of time. So if anybody wants to ask any questions,
I've not put the chat box on for obvious reasons, because you always get, because it was opened up to the masses. I've not put the chat box on because you just get haters and stuff like that. But I wanted people to get an insight of the kind of stuff that you guys are going to be doing down there, and that is, from what I know of you both, that is just a little taster of the things that you can be doing.
Yeah.
Don't forget, these guys aren't on Zoom calls every week, so they're going to be just going through a little bit of what they're going to talk about. But if you go down there, again, you might have a day off work and you might think, do you know what? I'm going to invest a bit, invest a little. I'll take this out, shall I? Like taking my teeth. I'm going to invest a little bit of time into something that I'm investing my money into. So for me, when myself, Tomo, George, and Stu come up with this idea of, okay, let's get a training center. This is not a place where we're going to tell you what to do. This is not, again, like we've said, it's not financial advice. We're not going to be like, okay, do that and you're going to earn this. No, we give trade ideas. It's a community feel. We know what we can do in this space, and we're going to be trying to deliver it to you. But I know for a fact, if you got 2 hours or 3 hours spare and thought, I'm going to take myself down to Workshop and I'm going to go and sit with these guys, it's a welcoming feel. There's free coffees and teas and stuff like that there, and you can sit down with people that know how to do it. So for me, you've got every chance to go and better what you're doing at the minute. And even if you don't want to go down there, that might not be your thing, you can bring the training center and say, I'd like to book in an hour Zoom call. I'd like to go in a bit intense where I'm maybe going things wrong. But if you can get down there, I do think that it'll really help you. And like I say, these guys are brilliant at what they do. If I was in the UK, I'd be down there every day. I'd be down there helping people. Unfortunately, I'm not in the UK. I will be coming back to see these guys and do an official opening with it, get as many people down there from the community as possible, and just try and help one another. That's what it's about. If you go down there one day and you gain 1%, and you go down the next week and you gain 1%, it's all adding to your knowledge. So on that note, we've done an hour and 5 minutes. I'm going to keep trying to do these calls. Every once a month, get a webinar, get someone that you think may be interested in do it. If you're enjoying the community, which I know a lot of you are, keep doing what you're doing. And I promise you, I can't promise you, I know that if you will keep just plodding on with what you're doing and you do the things that we say not to do, which are the key ones: stop losses, over leveraging, revenge trading, hit your target when you're done, all these kind of things, if you put them into place, there's no reason why you can't be a profitable trader. All right, I hope we've told you a little bit about Blakey Trades and the community that we're doing here for this month's webinar. That is me done. Thank you, George and Stu, for your time, and thank you for everyone for your time.
Thank you so much for funding the office for everybody. Honestly, everyone down here is absolutely loving it. So if anybody can travel down, I'll end it on this. Monday to Friday, people are traveling down from nationwide. We've got people from all over the UK coming down and traveling. Yeah, we've got Scotland. We've got literally everybody from everywhere. We're all a massive community, and like it says, everything down here is 100% worth it. So everybody's obviously, it's all been funded by Aaron. So we just want to thank you so much for giving us the opportunity, and thank you for giving everybody else the guidance and the time so people can actually come and do this. Without you, mate, this wouldn't happen, bud.
I appreciate that, mate, and I appreciate you too.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
See you later, boys. See ya.
Bye-bye, mate.